Peter Goon, day 31 of programming every day until I get a full-time job. Today I will be continuing yesterday, trying to figure out the logic for visual mode. So there's some inputs, right? And the inputs are, and I'm trying to make a function that I pass in the current x, y, and the start xy of the what you would call it, the visual mode, right? And then this function, it will happen at each iteration, maybe each iteration where, so in the code, right, there is, we have this shit here where it's like, if it's in visual, honestly, like, yeah, let me just do it like this first and then just basically I'm trying to figure out like this logic for visual mode, because this editor in visual mode, how to think about that a bit more, the order of rendering stuff. So today's going to be kind of a short video, but let's start. So this will be kind of like the same thing as this if it's in visual mode. We are in visual mode, and so the one I did, and the y coordinate. Just curious if this will work. No. It won't work. So So the y coordinate has to be in between start y and cur y. Start y and cur y. And this is kind of interesting because like they could be, like sometimes start y is gonna be the first one, the top of the boundary, the top boundary, and cur y is the bottom boundary, and sometimes it's gonna be reversed. Cur y is the top boundary, start y is the bottom boundary. Start y, either or start and is for the range to check. Okay, so if to me be in visual mode, the y coordinate has to be in between start and y. Now, what about the x coordinate? So one thing about this, right? So say we pressed V, we're starting at the A. When we go up, right, this is the current y. This is the start y, right? If it's in between the range, but it's not the top and the bottom, you know that the whole line can be highlighted, right? If the y chord is in the range and it is not start cur, you know we can just highlight the whole line. Okay. And then if a line is like what is the weird shit? So if we get on a line and that line is the start y index or line, right? If we get on a line, that line is the start y. We know to build the rectangle from cur x to the length of that line. Is that how I did it for with these? Width is equals to length of line minus 5. Width 1. Width is minus 6 width. Yeah, okay. This is for the first one, right? So we just x, y, just put it there, and then for if it's not the first one, right, we gotta Oh, okay, because we have to put it 5 to the right, and then why is text rect 1? What is that? Text rect 1 is 4. Oh, here. Okay. If a line is start curve, we can just move shit down line and start. We know to build the rectangle from the current x to the length of that line. If a line is curved, this line is curved. No, that line is right. Line is the top. Line is bottom of the range. Right? Yeah, I think that's how. That's how we gotta do it. Line is the bottom of the range. We highlight the start of the line to the bottom x chord. If start and cur y start y are the same, meaning that we're on the same line. We do it from the first x to the last x. Only highlight from the small x chord to the bigger x chord. Right? I think that's it. So now, how do we know which one's the start, which one's the end? Right? Like we have, or no? Which one's the top, which one's the bottom? I'm gonna talk about that here. When we press V, the character we are on is always highlighted no matter user movements. Cursor follows a snake pattern. Cursor original position when V is pressed needs to be stored. Original is always either the first or the last position that is highlighted. The highlighted portion can be imagined as if the cursor was moved to the finishing position. We would need current position and starting position saved, rendering, do some calculation with OG and curve positions. If editor.visual mode check if I is within range. No, I don't talk about that, so we just compare the two now. Just compare start cur, start is smaller, start is top, cur is bottom, else vice versa. And do the same for x. And we only need to do this if there is only one line highlighted. Highlighted. Dude, I think I said. I think this is like low key it. And we would have some check at the start to see if there is only one line, because then we just do one line stuff. Awesome. I think this is the logic. Tomorrow I will write this into code. Alright, bye-bye.